Hi, everyone. Welcome to the HeartSet podcast, the private podcast where the host changes and the guest stays the same. I'm Kim, your host for this episode. Today, we're going to be discussing entanglement. So help me welcome Ramona Galey, founder of HeartSet Academy and the Alignment Circle Mastermind, and Oprah, her spirit guides, to this podcast. Welcome, Ramona.
Thank you, Kim. I'm so glad to be here with you. I love our subject today. I'm really looking forward to it. And I really appreciate your coming and being the guest host.
This is an exciting subject, and I am very happy to be here. Very happy. So today is entanglement. So let's talk about it. Why? What is it actually?
Why? What? Who?
What? And why?
Why?
Why are we entangled?
Well, so first, let me just define the term.
Yes,
so Oprah
please.
just started calling it entanglement before they were calling it attachment. And that's all what I had always called attachment. And I think why I started calling it entanglement, or why Oprah started and I followed suit, is I've been having several conversations with friends recently who were highly entangled about something. And when I used the word attachment, they did not understand, and they're not necessarily in our, immediate community with, you sharing this exact same vocabulary. But the word attachment seemed to mean to a lot of people, it's kind of like, God, the word God has a lot of baggage to it. The word, lots of different things have different, have baggage attached to them. And so we changed the word. So attachment to them meant, caring about somebody. Well, I'm really attached to her, of course, because I'm in love with her. No, that's not what I mean. Like that kind of a conversation. So, and it was happening some with clients too, I believe. It wasn't as obvious, but the essence was there. And Oprah obviously picked up on it because they just one day announced that entanglement was the new word of choice. So I mean the old version of attachment, meaning when I'm entangled with something, that means I want something, but I think I can't have it. Or I don't think I deserve it. Or there's like a million different, infinite forms of attachment or entanglement. But yeah, that's what I mean when I talk about entanglement. And that's what Oprah means when they talk about entanglement. There's an essence, there's a very specific feel to it. And I assume it's different for everybody, but I have a very specific feel to it. And as Oprah has worked with clients, it seems very obvious that each person, once they learn to identify it, it's very clear. So it's really worth pursuing.
Absolutely.
To become very familiar with that specific feeling, to identify it, because as soon as you have that feeling, it's like a shortcut, of course, just like any aha moment, right? You have the feeling. It's not, I think I should be like this, or I think it should be like that, or, what does so-and-so think? It's like, oh, there it is. It's like the uh-oh feeling, right? It's like a miniature kind of different flavored uh-oh feeling is what it is. There you go. Uh-oh, I'm entangled. Because the pure desire, here's the most important part. The pure desire always feels good. The pure desire is divine. It's what I've learned from Oprah. Our desires are divine. That was a tough one for me. That feeling, that knowing that my desire is actually really important to the furtherance of mankind, kind of a thing. I mean, it's a little bit dramatic, but like I'm doing my job when I have desires.
Right.
And so that desire always feels good. But most of us think that when we're in love, we're yearning, all the pop music will tell us that, we can't have her, or she's so beautiful, but I'm not good enough for her, or whatever it is. And so that yearning, that's entanglement.
That's entanglement. That does feel icky.
Right? When you really love something, think about that. I love that bird that's singing outside right now. I don't need anything from that bird. I don't need it to do anything different from what it's doing right now. It's pure appreciation. That's what desire is pure appreciation. Entanglement is anything that's modifying, let's say, that appreciation.
Yeah. Okay. I love that distinction between, or the new word instead of attachment, because I might be attached to you, but not entangled. So that's really very fine tuning. I love that.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. Very helpful. So, okay, we kind of know what that is and how it might feel. And I know that feeling. And I think it's, I think others do too. So, what kind of tools and techniques do we practice? What have you used to let that entanglement, to make it not entangled, to
Well,
untangle it?
I think there's a basic decision point. That's the starting place. I'm willing to release entanglement.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Oh, yeah.
drama, there's a lot of sensory input in entanglement.
Yeah.
So if I'm used to and desirous of a lot of drama, if everywhere I go, I get people all stirred up, I kind of enjoy some
Mm-hmm.
conflict. I enjoy a lot of variety to the point where I don't stick with any one thing. Or if I enjoy helping people, then I'm always going to be attracting people that need my help. And so some people enjoy entanglement and wouldn't give it up. They wouldn't want to.
Mm.
So the first thing is to decide if you want to. And a lot of times it takes kind of a 2x4 upside the head when you get something that you thought you wanted, that you were very entangled with, and you pursue
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get it. It's not at all what you thought you wanted, and then there's a lot of drama,
Oh.
especially if you're not really into that much drama.
Mhm,
Then now you have like a decision point, like a motivation,
mhm,
and that that makes the momentum towards releasing entanglement get started. So in other words, you got to get some momentum going, some natural momentum born
yeah.
of your desires. So I wouldn't say to anybody who enjoys entanglement or thinks, make a big deal about it, like, fine, yeah, just let it go. Like, no big deal. Everything that's going on can have a mix of vibrations,
Mhm,
and that's perfectly fine. For me, I wanted to separate the two.
mhm.
So it was an easy decision for me to make, and easier the more I get hit upside the head by the 2x4 on something that I've been pursuing. I'm like, oh man, I can look back on it now and say I was totally entangled with this person
Mhm,
or this event or this place or whatever it was, this thing that I wanted. And of course, it didn't come out the way I was hoping because I had such mixed vibrations about it, such entanglement with it.
entanglement.
So once I've identified that, once I've made that decision, then the next step is to start identifying what it actually feels like. Because
Okay.
you can think about it all day long, but our thoughts, as you
Mhm,
know, can
mhm.
just go in circles and circles and circles, never
Yeah, the
get
hamster wheel.
the hamster wheel.
Mhm,
Beautiful. So yeah, so the feeling of it takes a little practice, maybe a little guidance, but once you get a feeling for the feel of it, like that little uh-oh feeling, oh, okay, then it's really easy. I think everything just flows after that, really. It's just those two, the decision and the identification. Because once you've identified it, if you've been practicing releasing resistance of any sort, it gets pretty easy pretty quick to start releasing it.
mhm.
You might struggle a little bit with, but I really want that thing. And so
Yeah.
what do I do with that desire while I'm
Mhm.
releasing the entanglement? And the answer is look away.
Uh-huh.
That's the tricky part. The answer is look away from your desire. And most of us want to grab onto that desire and bring it close and hold onto it and lock it up in a closet and keep everybody
Yes,
else away from it.
right.
If
Yeah.
you can release that desire long enough to look away, you're not saying, I no longer want it. Just be really clear. I'm not,
Mhm.
when I say release the desire, I don't mean pretend that I don't want it. That's what I used to do. Fine.
Yes,
You
right.
don't want me to, you're not going to give
Fine.
me this with that, then fine. I don't want
Mhm,
it. I was
mhm,
famous for that.
mhm,
So the courage, the ego that it takes, the self-sense, so the worthiness to stand in my place and say, I want this thing. I can tell I'm entangled with it, and so I'm going to back off on it, but I still want it and I love it. I'm going to practice appreciating just the thing, and meanwhile let the entanglement fall away. And anytime I'm struggling with the entanglement, I look away.
mm,
It takes a certain amount of faith to say, okay, I'm looking away from my desire, but it's still there when I look back at it. If I look away and then I look back, I look away and I look back, like in this physical sense, like you and I are talking on
mhm,
Zoom
mhm.
and everything, I know your image is still going to be there. My camera's still there. My computer's still there. I have to have that same faith that what I desire that I don't have yet is still there.
Okay.
Look away and I look back. The looking away is essential in the release of entanglement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So many times we just don't want to look away from that.
Yeah, we're
If I
scared
look
to.
away from it, it might not be there.
I might lose it.
Yeah, the universe might think I lost interest and take it away, or
Right.
something.
Right.
Yeah,
To which
right.
Oprah, of course, would smile indulgently and say, "We never do that.
Uh-huh.
We never do that." They're really clear about that. They've always got our backs.
Mm-hmm.
So that little bit of faith, whatever you can do to build that kind of faith, and
Mm-hmm.
just do whatever it takes to build that
Mm-hmm.
faith.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of different
Yeah.
ways to do it, but
Yeah.
everybody's, got a preference. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think the hardest thing about entanglement is relationships. It's probably the very most,
Really?
you know,
I can't imagine.
entangled thing that we could possibly do,
You mean those
which,
pesky people?
those pesky other humans that have to insist on getting what they want as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like a like we're setting ourselves up for really hard things.
Well, when I say so much, so often, practice on the small things,
Yeah.
when it comes to people, practice on
Uh-huh.
yourself first.
Practice. Oh, yes.
Because you're a
Yeah.
people too.
That's true.
I'm a people, you're a people.
Are
And
you saying I'm human?
yes, yeah, I am. But I'm also saying that you're in relationship with yourself.
Aha.
So
Ah,
the
okay.
relationship with ourselves, when we make that come first, that doesn't mean only, it can mean that we're very self-centered and wanting to make sure that we're pleased first, but it also means that we are in relationship with ourselves first.
Uh-huh.
So when I practice my relationship with myself and I start finding entanglement there, then I
Mm.
can focus on releasing it. Now, I'm not saying it's as easy as releasing entanglement to the ice cream or the getting out of the bed or the
Right.
songbird outside or any of those things, but once you get just get some momentum going on releasing the entanglement within the relationship with myself,
Hmm.
then things start to really go. And then, of course, the next level is to release the entanglements with the relationships with others.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've done it with yourself, it is so much easier. It's so much clearer. It's so much more obvious. The path unfolds very naturally when you are, first of all, you've already done it once because you've done it with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, you had control over how it all happened. You go out into a relationship with somebody else. You don't have any control over how they're going to respond, but you still have control over your own vibration. And so then the only other part in that to learn and to practice is holding if I hold my vibration, no matter how you're feeling or no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're saying, no matter what you're thinking, if I hold my vibration, then I've released the entanglement. It's
Okay.
just that easy. It turns out to not have anything to do with you. It's
Ah.
still just my relationship with
Mm-hmm.
myself. It's just a different circumstance when I take it out to the people,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Can I ask
Not a
you a
whole lot.
question about entanglement with ourselves?
Yeah.
Um, so give me like an example of releasing an entanglement with myself.
Okay. I really, 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 really want to sleep better.
Okay. Okay, I
I'm
see
so
what you mean.
entangled with this desire. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very natural desire. It's a very normal desire. It's a healthy desire. Everybody would agree with me. Yes, you should sleep longer. Yes, you'll feel better when you sleep longer.
Okay.
And yet I keep waking up.
Mm-hmm.
So is my body betraying me? Am I unaware of some vibration that I'm not aware of somehow? Like, how is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
You could pile on
Mm-hmm.
entanglement,
Mm-hmm.
entanglement, entanglement.
Okay.
You could sit around and really turn yourself into a pretzel. And gee, I think maybe I've done it, which is why I know about this. I can't even stop counting how many, right? So
Right.
for me, it's a perfect example.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I get it. Yeah. And we do that with food. We can do that with, whatever it is that we're really, and we probably do that with money and all that stuff
Yep.
too.
We do
Yep.
it with all the big ones.
All the big ones.
And then we do it with all the little ones too.
Yeah.
And that's where, of course, you want to start practicing.
Yeah.
Start getting aware of it, start identifying it, start the skills of releasing it. Yeah.
Would you say that anything that we're chewing on obsessively, like, worrying about all that
Anything
trying to figure it out?
Yep. Calculating strategy, that's all.
Yes. Okay.
Because think about it. Think about, let's say it's money, the big one, right? The biggest of the big, right? And I'm broke and I need more money. Well, as long as I'm thinking about it and strategizing, I am completely out of the vortex. I'm completely out of alignment. I'm completely entangled with my desire.
Yeah.
When I can release all the entanglement, then I'm just sitting in a nirvana state right here, right now, where I have enough right here, because I am breathing. My heart is beating. I have blood flowing through my veins. I have food in the refrigerator. I have a roof over my head. I have walls to keep the rain and the wind and the cold out. I have a chair to sit on. I have a table. So as I'm sitting and being and existing, like right here, right now from this place, I can say, oh, I feel so much appreciation for money. I love letting go of all of the stuff that people have said to me all my life and that I've repeated about money, about it, the root of all evil and all this stuff. But right here, right now, none of that stuff, just like the rain doesn't matter, the sun doesn't matter, the coming darkness doesn't matter. I'm right here, right now. And in this moment, I can really connect with the energy, the thought, my vibrations of money, the idea of abundance, the idea of having everything that I want. Because I have everything I want and need right here, right now, I can really sit in appreciation of it. In this pure appreciation with no extraneous thoughts, I am unentangled. Now I'm matching it.
That's beautiful.
Now I'm matching it. Matching it is essential to drawing it to you or being drawn to it. In other words, as I match it, I become it and it becomes me. And as I desire it and appreciate it and match it, it becomes of its own essence, and then it draws me to it. And we're no longer talking about money.
Right.
Now we're talking about vibration.
Yes.
Now
that is beautiful.
Bottom line.
Yes. Wow. Thank you for that. That was wonderful.
You're welcome.
So the right here, right now is kind of the key. Just be here now.
Be here now.
Yeah. That's perfect. Thank you.
I have to tell you a funny story.
Oh, please do.
I had a client once. We were talking on be here now. That was the message over and over again. We were practicing it, giving lots of guidance and feedback. Okay, this feels like that. Did you notice that this vibration went up? Okay, be here now, be here now. And she really got it. And then a few minutes later, it was like, but when our session's over, an hour from now, then what am I going to do? And Oprah's answer was, be here now then.
That's great.
Which of course we both cracked up over. And but I've remembered that ever since. Be here now then. Be here now every time. Just be here now. It doesn't matter when now is. Yeah.
Right.
I love that story.
Great. Okay. I think that we've kind of hit on a lot of really great food for thought and practice. And anything else you want to say before we wind up this entanglement segment?
I guess maybe just to reiterate, the challenge is separating the entanglement from the desire.
Yes.
We're typically afraid to do that because we think we're telling ourselves we can't have this. I can't have this thing I want. Are you telling me I can't have this thing? How many times have you ever said that? I mean, I've said that a lot. Don't tell me I can't have that. Because we know in our sovereign nature, in our consummate freedom that cannot be changed by anybody, only by us. We're the only ones who can make us not free. We can't even make us not free. We're free. We can change our minds anytime. We can pretend we're not free and that's it. And so we don't want to let go of our desires, nor should we, nor do we ever. But it feels like it. when you want to remove or separate at least the entanglement. You want to separate, you want to identify it first and then release it and celebrate the desire separate from it. That's the tricky part.
The tricky part.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah. Great conversation.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to another HeartSet podcast production. If you would like to be considered as a host for the show, send us your topic idea and 1 to 3 sample questions at contact@ramonagaley.com. Thank you.